So that automation isn't working. Excuse me while I take a note. Good evening, everybody.
Welcome back, everyone. It is really good to be with you again.
I kind of, sort of remember how to do this.
I think we do 3 things on this show.
Oh, okay. Why do you...
First, we do an opening monologue. This gives you the opportunity to get situated, make sure you have your meds, make sure you've taken some water, make sure you've eaten a food, make sure that Cat and the Roomba aren't quite locked in the death battle that they perpetually threaten to be in. That kind of thing. Cuddly toys all in a row, got your duvet, got comfy, all of that good stuff. Awesome.
I don't have a duvet. I have a cuddly toy, though.
Hello.
Hello. You're my cuddly.
So we do all of that, and then we give you an opportunity to do all of that. And then we dive headlong into the meat of the show flesh, if you will. I'll never use that phrase
show
again.
flesh?
At the moment, that is going to be Scarlet Hollow Chapter 4, which we started just before the Christmas break, 15,000 years ago.
I feel like I should turn off the fan, because the fan is making much noise. Keep talking.
And we will be picking that up
it's
tonight.
The internet, and I turn off the fan on my phone now.
That's what we do.
Okay. Shh. Hush. We haven't named the fan yet. We haven't named the car yet. I have a large number of devices I interact with on a daily basis that do not have names.
You haven't named your laptop, and you've had that close to a year.
No, I named the laptop.
What's the laptop called?
It's Shepard. Duh.
Of course.
All my computers are named Shepard. There we go.
Anyway, after the main event of
hey,
the show,
honey, how many things do we do on this show?
3, and I'm on the 3rd one. we try and send you home with something to make you laugh rather than make you go, was that an axe murderer? Or perhaps just a miner with no face who possibly cares a lot about you. And that is what we like to call shenanigans. There will be laughs. There will probably be Tumblr.
I think we have humorous patch notes this week.
Nice.
Which will be
Those
fantastic.
are always good.
Brought to us courtesy of our amazing moderator / producer, Ducky, which is wonderful. The lovely Wendy has not joined us this evening because she's recovering from a migraine. So everybody send Wendy some love for the VOD when she's able to catch up. We love you very much, Wendy. We hope you're feeling better soon. Hey, Pezzy. Happy New Year.
And thank you so much for the subscriptions, folks. We hope you had a really good festive season. Yeah. We hope it went great. Ours was very busy.
But part of the being busy was the having of fun, which is quite rare.
We watched the movies and we played the games.
I played a whole entire game. And we visited some friends and saw some other friends and played a bunch of games and wrote like a huge piece of paper's worth of these are all the movies and TV shows we should watch.
And we're making our way through them quite methodically.
I was going to say, we've ticked off a couple. I think we've added as many as we've ticked off the list, unfortunately. But, we had a nice long break. And then, ooh, wow, Hype Train. That was fast. Thank you very much, everybody. Woohoo! Thank you for the gift subs,
Thank
Fox.
you, Fox.
That's very nice of you. What were we doing? What was I just saying? We did not stream last week because I work for a company based in the US, and once a year they have their we're all gonna get together and do stuff things.
In a different time zone.
In very different time zones. So I was on much different timing.
Basically, this was about the end of Marguerite's working day. This time last week.
So that did not work terribly well. But we were back, and on Sunday we played
Darkside Detective,
which was, as always, adorable and wonderful, and continues to be adorable and wonderful. And we have how many stories left? 2 left?
1.5.
We have like 1.5.
We have 1.5. We've just started in on. There is a Thunderbird on the roof of the Twin Lakes Botanical Gardens that has decided that Dooley's nephew is its chick, and we have to kind of deal with that.
Yes, exactly.
Which led to
an overly enthusiastic park ranger, and oh yes, my what was it? My client pleads Mambo number 5.
Yes,
which I have used more than he has.
Yeah,
to be
right.
Honest. So
and also possibly my favorite one-shot line in the game so far, where Dooley sees the Thunderbird for the first time and goes, "You know what? I think that's a dodo."
Yes.
Bless him.
Bless him. Thank you very much to everybody who's subscribing this wonderful. We should kind of tell you about something. So one of the things that happened is who amongst us has not played Mambo number 5, right? I mean, it's common legal parlance, right? I know all about it. Dooley is the best. I agree. So in 2018, that was an idea. No, so we have been working on taking EA. Wendy, maybe this is a different Wendy. Okay, very well. Hello, different Wendy. We've been working for several years to make EA a nonprofit company. For a whole lot of reasons. I mean, we're based in the arts. We want to make a long-term sustainable project. The work we do isn't about making anybody, except the artists and the creators we pay, any money. And so we kind of started it and researched it and realized how expensive and time consuming it was, and started slowly started working at it. Well,
Thanks,
on
Frankie.
the Friday before Christmas, my last day of work for the year, we got through the magical letter from the IRS. It says, yes, thou shalt become a nonprofit.
You shall achieve charitable status.
Exactly. So I imagine if we also made money doing this, though, right, Fox and Moose? Wouldn't that be amazing? It really, really would. But since we don't, we are now one of those companies that in the UK you would call a charity. In the US you would call a nonprofit. In Canada, I think we are called a charitable organization. Anyway, but that means that people who donate to EA on a regular basis can receive some tax incentives for them depending on their personal tax situations. And it also means a lot of other cool things, like the companies that we pay to use their services, like, you know, we have to pay Google to use our email server and all that kind of stuff, is much, much cheaper, if not free, for us now as a nonprofit, which is great. I have a whole Trello board's worth of work to do as a result of this. But it was really big news, and it's taken us 5 years, and we've had a lot of very generous help, both in terms of encouragement and knowledge, and in some cases funding along the way, which has been fantastic. And we're hoping it's going to let us get to do a bunch of other cool things in the future, like maybe do some stuff in collaboration with education programs, and more importantly, keep bringing you stream content and free, accessible global fiction, which we're very, very excited about. So that was our big kind of like Christmas present.
It was
I have to write press releases.
and all of this hit on top of me being visited by the redundancy fairy.
Yeah,
in November.
We've had a very up and down 2 months. There's been some really cool stuff, like the nonprofit status, yay! And then Alistair was made redundant. Boo. So, you know, we're kind of trying to... We took a long break and kind of was like, okay, we gotta think, we gotta relax. What are we gonna do? Nobody panic. Nobody panic! Yes. Yeah. Do you want to talk a little...
Yeah.
To the extent that you're comfortable.
Of course.
Yeah.
For the last year...
By the way, folks, this is going to be a very long, chatty introduction. We haven't talked to you in, like, weeks.
For the last year, I have had a day job, and it's great. I was a narrative designer, which meant I wrote scripts for a game. Mm-hmm. And I can't quite talk about it for complex, mildly legal reasons.
Yes.
But it was brilliant and incredibly demanding, and was some of the most fun I've ever had. And I came into it fairly convinced that it was not going to work. And then a year later, it surfaced, having helped put together a team of writers for the thing, and written around 250,000 words.
Yeah, he wrote
like 60 plus full cast scripts for it.
Exactly. It was brilliant.
And unfortunately, the folks in charge of the money, the metaphor that I like to use is, if you've ever seen the old Blackadder 2 episode with Tom Baker as the legless captain, and the conversation about, so where's the crew? Opinion is divided between myself and the other captains. How so? Everyone else says you need one. I say you don't. And it kind of felt like that with, maybe we need more than one stream of money. So, that happened.
So, yeah, you know, as happens sometimes in creative projects, the money bottomed out.
And I'm in this kind of weird spot at the moment where it's possible that they're going to bring me back to do contract work from time to time, but no one is quite saying when. So confidence is a little bit of a fleeting house guest sometimes, because I'm having to do the job search thing as well, albeit passively, and
finishing up some other stuff that you know we have. I like to plan. I plan things. We have planned several months worth of things. It's all going around. It is absolutely the number one way to feel worthless. exactly that.
It's actually the first time I've felt my age. It's actually the first time I've actually felt that horrible little voice at the back of your mind going, "You're in your 40s.
No.
And it doesn't, and I'll get something else, but it's
taking it day by day emotionally.
Victories are small sometimes right now.
Yeah, exactly. But we have one of our big goals for this year is to visit friends more often and spend more time with friends, and so we're looking forward to doing that. We have
several weddings
to attend,
possibly 3,
which is wonderful. We have like 2. There may be a third. So we're just going to concentrate this year on seeing friends. We have the big, huge, mega, uber stretch goal, which is we'd really like to buy a house. But that is less easy to do when one person is working than it is when 2 people are working. Not impossible, but less easy.
Which, in my quieter moments, does scale the battlements of Fort Self-Worth and go, yes. And I don't.
But then you just give it a kick to the face and it falls backwards and it takes the ladder with it and wipes out a bunch of people as well and goes, pfft.
This is periodically why my brain yells, "This is Sparta!"
Yes, exactly.
But no, thank you, folks. I appreciate the kind words.
Kim and I finally got a house back in August and we're still kind of mind blown we were able to do that. Congratulations. Accomplishing that is a heck of a thing.
Oh, we have a fridge.
Oh my god. I open the door and I can see the food and the food is cold.
For those of you
it's a freaking miracle.
For those of you who are new, shortly before Christmas, we noticed 2 things. Firstly, we were both feeling a little sick all the time.
It's like, maybe we've developed dairy allergies. And then we got thermometers and looked at the refrigerator and went, oh, that would be the problem. So we did the whole, I will defrost the thing and, make it fix. And
by the way, just as
narrator voice, it did not fix.
By the way, I am legally obligated to point out that anytime Marguerite says we, the sum totality of my responsibilities in this problem-solving environment, we're carrying the things.
Yes. Okay.
Continue.
People want to see your t-shirt. Yes, he is
podcast
of course
character.
Podcast character. Yes, it is the best teacher. I think this is his 3rd.
I think it is.
I think we have a special one just for going to events.
This is
because it's white, right? You don't want it to get stained or anything, so we have a special one for. I'm wearing this in public.
This is my smart casual podcast
Your
character.
smart casual podcast character t-shirt. Yes, exactly. No, it has Alistair in it. He's in all the things, right? Anyway. So our refrigerator...
I'm actually in a couple more as well. I'll talk to you about those after the West.
Plentifying all that.
Yeah.
So our refrigerator officially died in middle of November.
Which is pretty much the worst possible
time.
So it turns out.
Right before Thanksgiving and Christmas. So we had no refrigerator for Thanksgiving. We had no refrigerator for Christmas. We had no refrigerator for New Year's Eve. We were very lucky that the freezer was still working.
Kinda,
sorta. So we were literally storing everything in insulated picnic bags and putting ice packs in them, cycling them through the freezer on a daily basis.
Oh, Chungus is fine.
Chungus is fine.
He's fine.
Chungus survived just fine, but he's currently in a bit of a bulk cycle because we whittled him down to make sure he could stay in the refrigerator for this period of time. So just on, was it Monday?
Yeah.
Just on Monday.
It's been a long week.
Oh my god, it's been a very long week. We finally have a refrigerator. And Alistair and I keep going, look, I can open the door. I can see all the food. So yes, we got to do grocery shopping and actually have cold milk again in the house. It's been wonderful.
Because it turns out that this thing I've been noticing...
Chungus is going to outlast us all, Pezzy. True story. My Aunt Diane moved from California to New York.
So many tasty cheeses.
Years and years and years and years and years ago. And took a portion of the family sourdough starter with her and still has it. It's probably 25 years old now. So yes, they will live forever. And I'm going to make sourdough pancakes this weekend, I've decided.
I was actually going to suggest maybe sourdough muffins.
No, I want pancakes.
It's fair.
Sorry, you've been outvoted. Anyway, you were going to talk about...
I am in more shows.
I can't do both at the same time is the problem. We keep Chungus pretty small, so you have to use pretty much all the starter to do one baking thing.
Yeah,
so it wouldn't divide well.
So
we have to ration ourselves.
You gotta wait, basically. Yeah, I made more shows. One of the things that was announced over Christmas was I'm about to start in Among the Stacks, which is a fantastic pseudo supernatural library show.
Yes.
And I'm really happy with it. I've got my script for my character's first appearance, and it is again very different from Malachi, and very, very different from the narrator and from Peter.
It's called Among the Stacks. Right. And yes, Super Suits debuts imminently, like the first week of February. Yeah. I think there will be a supporter launch party.
Slightly before me, because aren't you scattered across 2 or 3 episodes?
You and I each have several appearances throughout the first season.
Yeah.
But I don't know if either of us are in the first episode. My inclination says I don't know. It's been a long time. I'd have to go back and reread them. But we are planning to attend the launch event of the first live listening of the first episode.
Does Anchor start this year, or has that not been announced? He says, knowing full well that the producer and showrunner for Anchor is in the chat.
Oh, February 5th is the Super Suits launch party because I conveniently linked it from your website.
Anchor may or may not be wrapping recording this weekend. Bad ass. Good job for us.
There's Super Suits. And then Anchor, look at me doing all the things live. Look, Anchor 643 autocompletes. This is great. That's the Seed and Spark. Da, da, da. Oh, that was it. That was the website. Da, da, da.
There's also a Rogue Maker Q&A show coming out very, very shortly, which I am a part of.
Yep. Let me do a think. And Read Dracula, but we don't have a launch
Read Dracula, but that's in the process of launching too. Yeah.
He's gonna be in a lot of stuff this year. Don't worry. If you need Alistair Talks to You fix, you're gonna get plenty of it. I mean, not just steering, but in your ears too.
There's probably going to be something about once every 2 months. I think if it all shakes out.
Which sounds brilliant to me.
Plus, I hear St. Kilda is lovely towards the end of this year.
Yeah, I have a feeling St. Kilda might be a very, very lovely time towards the end of this year. Yes, that would be delightful. Oh my gosh, I think that's everything. We did the Christmas. We got a fridge again. Yay! We went for a very cold walk yesterday, in boots because it was all icy. But then we got to stomp around in boots, and that was very cool.
Pretend you're a transformer.
Pretend you're a transformer. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think that's everything. The duality of Al. Job searching makes me feel bad about myself. Also, Al, I'm in a whole basket full of upcoming shows, right?
Right.
The most powerful word in the English language is and. There are so many things that can be accurate at once, right? You can struggle with imposter syndrome and be a commercial success. You can struggle with job searching and be in a million podcasts. And. Very much so. I kind of feel like if we're going to do an opening monologue, we should probably do one sooner rather than later, because otherwise...
I'm psyched. Let's go.
Is there anything else put it this way, anything else we think of that we want to talk about, we'll talk about after shenanigans.
Okay.
I will keep a list.
I am delighted beyond words to be returning to the wonderful world of the opening monologue, especially as this one is once again brought to us by Nate Crowley, our house band and owner of one of my favorite ever brains. Nate spent some of Christmas as a Roman ghost along with his Roman ghost daughter. It involved a colander, and it is somehow even more adorable.
Cute. It's so so cute. So here we go.
All right. Space
Dracula versus King Beef. 5 very silly RimWorld scenarios. Fear the fists of King Beef. Oh wow. Busy 22 minutes, this is positively swift. I can't remember how to do this. Okay.
Since Colony Sim RimWorld left early access at the start of the year, it hasn't changed. And that's fine. It can be hard to remember when so many sandbox type games are constantly having new content shoveled into them, like coal into a furnace, that games sometimes just get finished.
Really?
Still, when you're used to coming back to a game and falling in love with it all over again every time it gets new content, it can feel weirdly sad when the developer decides that their work is done.
Nevertheless, I keep finding reasons to come back to RimWorld, and I want to share a few of them with you. Even without the cornucopia of bizarre mods available, the game offers a ludicrous potential for finding new ways to play. When you're starting colonists, equipment, location, and even game rules open to complete customization, you can make it into whatever settlement management game your heart desires. Some gimmicky playthroughs, for example, the dreaded Ice Sheet Challenge, are famous, but I've got a few recipes of my own that I think you'll enjoy. Here's 5.
1. Caribou herding. You wouldn't have thought that a game about space colony survival would also double up as an incredible simulation of nomadic Stone Age animal herding, but it really does.
Oh, nice.
For this scenario, you're going to want to crank the stat multiplier for research speed factor down to 10% so that things stay, fairly Neolithic. Then engineer a tribal start with 5 people, some basic supplies, and 10 caribou. Your goal is then to move from the world map's southernmost bit of tundra to the northernmost, having at least a male and a female caribou alive at the end. And that's it! It's a tough but rewarding playthrough full of tough decisions. Do you butcher an animal or two when things get lean? Do you build up a big food store to overwinter in the tundra, or go hell for leather to reach a milder climate? What happens if a pod full of futuristic megadrugs falls from the sky? The fate of the herd depends on your judgment.
I feel like we should, at some point in the future, set up a stream specifically where we make Nate play Oregon Trail.
Just to see how badly
Just to see how it goes, right? I'm really excited
Let's
about
do
this. 2. Space Dracula. Inspired partially by
Juka Sarasti.
the chilling but weirdly believable space vampire in Peter Watt's Blind Sight, this scenario sees you start with a single, impossibly powerful horror man, who must then build up a settlement of human cattle to protect, serve, and occasionally feed upon. For Space Dracula himself, you'll want a lone colonist who's predetermined to start with virtually every positive trait in the game, but also cannibalism and luciferum addiction. Space Dracula loves space drugs as well as blood. Give him a pile of endgame kit, a few starting rations, and a stack of drug of choice, but don't let him do any work. You'll have to wait for a wanderer or a captive to become his first familiar and do everything for him. Build up a squad settlement of familiars devoted to maintaining Space Dracula's way of life. But if he runs out of human meat, it's time for a sacrifice. Better hope the raids keep coming. The scenario's goal is to have the familiars build Space Dracula a ship off-planet with space for 1 passenger, thus freeing themselves from his tyranny.
3. Amazon Lizard Farm. For this scenario, you'll need an extreme desert mountainous start, enough food and kit to dig into the mountain and seal up again against the heat. You might want to turn off those annoying bug infestations, and a lot of iguanas. Your initial colonists should all be women, and they are welcome to recruit anyone else they like for their settlement, on one condition: no dudes. Men are either turned away, depending on how merciful you feel, or beasted on sight and fed to the iguanas. Ideally, your colony should eventually subsist entirely on iguana eggs. The endgame here is up to you, but in this scenario, the journey is its own reward. You've got a fortified desert citadel full of warrior queens, armed to the teeth and devoted to maintaining a cavern full of man-eating lizards. It's a good time.
I was gonna say, I think that story, writes itself. Scenario 4. King Beef. In this savage tale, you'll want a single colonist again, but he's a bit different from Space Dracula. He should start with a staggeringly ugly trait, as well as every possible trait that boosts his ability to survive fistfights, every trait that makes him hard to live with, a suit of uranium plate mail, and a breeding pair of cows. Just pause for a second on that image.
King Beef.
Okay? The aim of the scenario is to acquire and freeze as much beef as possible before you die, with the final total acting as your high score. To boost King Beef's chances, oh fuck you, oh god, use the scenario stat multipliers to make projectile weapons completely useless, so he can beat all invaders to death with his bare hands. You may choose to allow wanderers to join and serve as squires of king beef, but be warned. The man himself should be as despicable as possible, and it won't be long before they too fall to his immense uranium fists. He created that scenario after reading a Warhammer novel.
Yes, he
I
did.
just know it.
Yes, he did. Oh, God.
And the best for last.
Lost of the Summer Space Wine. Some brief cultural context.
Oh.
Lost of the Summer Wine was a 3-century-long BBC sitcom about these 3 old men in the image who lived in a small Yorkshire town and kept trying to do things like invent a rocket that ran down one of the hills that went to the moon. And it ran forever. When one of them died, his son, also a pensioner at this point, came in as the son of his dad's character. They did a prequel called First of the Summer Wine, with them in the same village 60 years previously, starting the same kind of shit.
Good luck getting through this one. This will be fun.
I haven't actually tried this one yet, but it's next on my list, so let me know if you have a go first. The concept is that you're a squad of extremely elderly space soldiers who've gotten tired of the space wars and chosen a disastrous retirement plan. A world where everything bad happens at once, one day every year. Your 8 colonists should have a minimum age of 60, a good set of military kit each, and enough starting resources to get themselves bunkered up quickly. The game should be utterly stacked with recurring disasters. Storms, meteorites, man-eating animal stampedes, however much you feel is just about survivable. Said to occur simultaneously every 60 days. How many rounds of this will your war pensioners survive? Remember, they've been fighting as a squad their whole lives, and they won't accept any outsiders joining. So once your lost soldier dies, it's all over. That's all for now. Let me know if you'd like to see any of these in action as a diary piece, and feel free to chime in with a scenario of your own if you have a classic.
I want to see him play Oregon Trail. I want to see Nate have to agonize about choices over axles and bullets. It would just be hilarious.
So yeah. Yeah, Lost of the Summer Wine was the show that you watched on Sunday night when it wasn't quite time to go to bed.
That's when I read books. This seems like a pretty good place to take a quick break because, you know, the ads
folks,
assert
capitalism.
themselves. Yes, capitalism is about to occur. So, but thanks to some generosity, I think a lot of people may be exempt from the ad breaks tonight. So, we are going to run a quick little ad. It'll take 2 to 3 minutes. If you are subject to the ad, please feel free to leave it running. Go and get yourself a lovely beverage, or perhaps you need a snack, or to circulate your vital fluids, or to see if anybody in your house needs any sort of medications or chores or jumping jacks. I don't know. You do you. We will be back in 2 to 3 moments. For the rest of us, you're going to have a lovely little musical interlude because I need to refill my water. So we will be back in about 3 minutes. And I have a button for this. Let's see if I remember how to push it. Here we go. Okay,
Hello.
so we've got about a minute left to run on the ad back break, but I have water now, so. So we've got about a minute. We will do a little bit of a recap when everybody's back from the break.
Previously on Scarlet Hollow.
Because I can't remember all of it myself, and I'm like, what were we doing? Who were we looking for? Who was going to scare the pants off of me? I'm really glad to see that Black Tabby Games finally got Scarlet Hollow into the mystery roundup that they're doing,
Also,
having been categorized as survival horror. You don't even have an inventory. That makes no sense. So, you were saying?
Also that have they locked the narrative document for
I think
Slay the Princess
they just
now?
said they finished the full narrative scoping for Slay the Princess, which is like, I'm very excited. I think your scenario is very likely in that we might get to a situation where they release like chapter 5, and then we get Slay the Princess, and then chapter 6 will be quite a while for that.
Because it's what, 7 parts, yeah?
I think so. It's like a week, right? There's a great piece of fan art next week, which is like your character sitting in the car going, wow, it's sure been busy, and Tabitha driving going, it's only Wednesday! You know. You had boiled peanuts. What more do you want? Exactly.
Fucking Jimmy.
Oh, Jimmy. What about economy? Oh, God, he's so funny. But I could talk forever about the dog politics subplot. I'm so happy about it.
The West Dog. The dog wing.
So Ozzy says Slay the Princess is supposed to come out this summer with chapter 5 in about a year.
Interesting.
Which is fine, because it may take us a couple more weeks to get through chapter 4. And then we'll have to have a think about. We had a couple of game ideas for other things we were going to play, didn't we?
Well, you were going to go back to Inscription and stomp all over that fool.
Yes, I would like to stomp all over that fool at some point. That would be very, very good.
There's also
there are many other games we can play. We are not hurting for other games to play. Yes. But for now, you ready? You got your headphones?
Nope.
We return to Scarlet Hollow, where we can't remember what the heck is going on.
Oh no, I can. It's fine.
Is it?
It's none of it's fine. Nothing's fine.
We're not gonna be fine at all, are we? This is not gonna be fine. Ugh.
Okay, so here's where we were.
Are you good? There we go. Get up all arms. That's close.
It is now the morning of day 4, the evening of day 3, having arrived in town 3 days ago to assist in the funeral arrangements for our aunt. By the evening of day 3, we were doing recreational ghost hunting, which turned into a mass possession incident.
We think, yes.
And we were given a choice where we could either...
A debt had to be paid, and we could either pay it ourselves, or we could let the ghost sit there and fester and do unknown harm. And Tabitha wouldn't pay, so we did. Because I'm playing this game, and I am the personification of Paragon, right? But before we get back to... And then we woke up the next morning. Stella hasn't been seen by anybody, so we were checking in with people and trying to find Stella. And then had a fascinating doggy politics subplot.
Also, Avery is extremely flirting with us.
Oh, yes. Very, very much so. And so is Oliver. Is it Oliver? The hot dad librarian? Oscar.
Carlos. Oscar.
That's it. Great. As if Scooby-Doo had long-lasting consequences. Yeah, so let's talk a little bit about a couple things. First of all, we prefer to play without spoilers. We have a couple of emojis, animated or still, that you can use, which is the wiggle. And the wiggle is, I know something you don't know, or I'm very excited about this thing that's coming up, or you're doing it wrong and I can't say anything. Please, feel free to make ample use of the wiggle, because we prefer to try to stumble our way through these scenarios. The other thing is, as you can see from this screen at chapter 4, there are some very, very burly content warnings for Scarlet Hollow in general, and this chapter in particular. We've put them into the chat. We talk about them a lot. There is a link to more detailed content warnings, which may include spoilers, available in the chat. Please use the tools that you need to make the right decisions for you about what you engage with and what you don't engage with. if, like me, you sometimes have a memory like a sieve, there's also a dramatis personae that we have created as we've been going along to remind you about characters, interesting beats, decisions we've made, accents, all of that good stuff. So with that said, and with everybody, do you have more to add?
Yeah, just agreeing with Grim that Scarlet Hollow is officially on the list of better takes of adult Scooby-Doo, and is right up there with the brief appearance by Mystery Incorporated, reimagined as various serial killers and 60s radicals in the episode of Venture Brothers, where Shaggy is so high he is hearing Scoob talk, and Scoob has this very strong German accent.
Yes.
And as a friend of mine pointed out, the line, "Yours is the sword of Michael," might be one of the funniest things ever said by a cartoon dog.
Yeah, very Son of Sam energy. Exactly. All right, so everybody got their squishy animals. Everybody got their like hoodies to hide behind, or their drinks and snacks. You're gonna hide behind me? Well, that's fair. I hid behind you for the first half of Lost tonight, so all good. Alrighty, here we go. Nicely timed with the music. Thank you. That was professional. I'm here all week. All right. Don't lean on my chair, please. Don't like it. Sorry. Right. Where were we?
Nowhere good. Just nowhere good.
Okay. Here we are. Look at that. Very attractive. All right.
I'm very here for how all the characters are like just
right, flexing. Exactly. All right, so I think, were we at the library, or had we decided to go back to the town? I can't remember.
I think we were
looking at the time signatures. 23, 44. Here's the 14th. Here's the 14th. I think this is us. Here we go. Okay.
Good job, Rebecca. So,
sorry,
please be kind to yourself, okay? It's always rough.
All right. Right. Here we go. So we looked around a couple of different places with Kanika and Avery about where to find Stella. And so our choices now are, we have lots of explore options. Reminder, explore options mean you don't have to, means you're not advancing the main plot, you're taking side quests. This, I'm supposed to get tea with your mom today. That is the plot. We will put our back to that and ignore it for as long as possible. Exactly. Oh my gosh, look at all these wiggles. People know 70 things. Let's check out the diner. We should go to the cops, right? Yeah, that's second last, thanks. Checking out the church. We should go to the mines. Oh god, no, I don't want to go to the mines. That sounds... I know, Kanika just looks killer. I think the church is the next best option, but it's gonna be weird. Because it's entirely possible that Stella's visiting her parents' graves.
It's also entirely possible that, the Reverend Simon Pegg is doing terrible things, though.
Yeah, I don't really want to go to the mines. I hope if I pick, we should go to the mines, Avery just looks at me like...
What is wrong with you?
What is wrong with you? Exactly. So, let's go to the church. We should check out the church. Church? Why? In fact, I can probably pull this microphone down a little bit closer so we don't have to be so hard on our voices. Better? There we go.
I see what you're thinking. Stella was confronted with evidence of the afterlife, so she might try getting into all of that religious stuff. It's worth checking out.
I think we'd be barking up the wrong tree, but I guess you're right. There's no point not being thorough.
I wouldn't mind stocking up on some holy water while we're there, too. Seems like a good idea to cover all our bases at this point.
Did we tell them the story?
I don't think we did.
Did we tell the chat? Okay. So when we found out Alistair had been cast in Read Dracula, we were literally standing in the Vatican. And so we texted them like, so do you need any holy water?
The Pope says hi.
Literally right here. And the response we got is, that is the most baller text message I've ever received. Yes, that was, of course we have holy water. Of course we have holy water for the Vatican. Every good adventure has holy water for the Vatican, right? Unless unless there is a different religious organization in your universe. I don't think oh god, they're Baptists.
That explains some things.
Yes, it does. I don't think Baptists do the whole holy water thing, but I'm pretty sure Pastor Daniel would pretend to bless some water if it meant keeping us around a little longer.
That's good enough for me.
Let's not linger, though. I don't want him thinking we're possible converts.
That is strong, only goth in the village energy.
Right?
Kanika leads the way, taking you up the gradual slope towards the church.
Whose house is that? I wonder if it's the pastor's.
Probably the pastor's. There's also appear to be alpaca.
They sure look like llama or alpaca. And I bet that's, what's her name, Janie?
Yes.
The woman who does house cleaning.
Who is also Mrs. the Pastor.
Yeah, who is Mrs. the Pastor. Exactly. Look to the right.
Hey, Wayne.
Oh, Wayne, what? No, not creepy Wayne voice. Ah! Oh, dear. We really are in a valley, though. Look at that. Lovely. Hang on, which is the button for? Yes, H. H is the button for...
Pastor Dan sends on my knee joke. Sorry, I'm Jewish. Response. Any consolation, he sends off my sorry, I'm technically Catholic. Response as well. Kanika leads the way, blah, blah, yeah. You know, I've lived here for a few years now, and I've never actually been to the church.
That's probably for a good reason. Where is that weirdo?
My. 4 visitors at once? On a Thursday? This is unprecedented.
Okay, if you don't want me to suspect your priest...
Don't give him axe murderer music.
Don't give them axe murderer music. Don't give them creepy music. Oh my gosh. Hey. But there are only 3 of us.
Oh no. Will we... just you.
Oh no. Were we followed by a ditchling? Were we followed by... Wayne?
Sup, old people?
Oh god, I love Zane so much. Oh.
Dude. He has a shirt of himself being radical.
That is amazing.
Just in case the Black Tabby folks are watching the stream, please, we have the mightiest need. A Zane being Zane shirt, please.
Is awesome. Oh, it's just Zane. What are you doing here?
All the glimpses of death I've had in the past 2 days have forced me into the midst of an existential crisis, my dudes. I wanted to see if faith held any answers for me. Also, I have not yet found the solace I seek. Give it time, Zane. It sometimes takes a while for the Lord to work his way into your heart. But when he does, you won't regret letting him in. Be sure to look over those pamphlets I gave you. And of course, I'm always here if you need to talk.
Oh, so creepy.
Sure thing, Pastor D. Peace, y'all! I choose to believe he has a little Bill and Ted guitar riff as he skates. Meow!
Right, exactly. Anyway, we're looking for Stella. She kind of wandered off last night, and no one has seen her since. We're starting to get pretty worried. We hoped maybe you or Janie had seen her?
I can't speak for Janie, but I'm afraid I've seen neither hide nor hair of Stella. If you'd like to talk to my wife, she's just over by the alpacas.
Yep.
Though, Petra, I was hoping we might be able to talk in private.
Okay. He's probably the guy giving the service. I should... Why does it need to be in private?
It's a personal matter. I'd rather folks not pry on this. I won't bite or anything, I promise, and we can talk here, right in the open. That sounds very court-mandated.
Gosh. I guess we'll leave you to it while we check in with Janie.
See you in a minute. Your friends head off towards Janie and the alpacas, leaving you alone with the nervous pastor. Very coordinated.
Well done. Well done. I'm actually a Mesoamerican immortal emperor cursed by my evil advisor to be an alpaca. Do you have poison? Cusco's poison?
The poison for Cusco. Cusco's poison. I had a chat with the mayor yesterday. I heard you did too.
Oh! He can talk to animals and he knows we can as well.
Interesting.
Okay.
I'm so glad you came. I've never met anyone else who could hear them. You have no idea how long I thought I must have had some kind of insanity.
Oh. Did you mislead him with the path of economy? Oh, he's struggled with his gift. That's actually sad.
I even thought at one point that it must have been the Lord himself talking to me through them.
Well, whatever floats your boat, honey. That's fine too.
But they never had anything very insightful to say.
Rude.
So I was disavowed of that pretty early on. Boiled peanut?
What's boiled peanuts? Oh, wow.
Hello?
Okay. No, I think maybe we'll save that to ourselves. Whoa. Interesting. Okay. There's a lot of options here. I like the explore options. I think we should friend. Have you met Frou-Frou, Gretchen, Pixel?
Of course I have, but I learned early on in life not to let on that I have this gift. At least not while other humans are around. So I haven't spoken with any of them.
No problem, Ocean. So that was us picking the have you met these particular animals. Hey, Corvin.
I get the feeling Frou-Frou wouldn't talk to me even if she knew I would understand her.
Fair, valid.
I've tried to befriend the alpaca when no one else is around. Emphasis on tried. Surprisingly cliquey.
Oh my god, I better get to talk to the alpaca. Please, I need to talk to the alpaca. The game is going okay, Corvin. We went to the church looking to find Stella, and we found Zane, who was having an existential crisis, dude. So went to talk to the pastor, who's just confided in us privately that he also speaks to animals, and Wayne is creeping around the church.
Being Eucasy.
Yes. So there's a lot going on.
Besides that, I try to maintain a low profile, only chatting with the wildlife when I'm sure no one is looking.
So, options.
Are you not going to comment on my appearance? I'm old now.
Are you sure we aren't actually talking to animals?
Have we been cursed? That seems very out of character for you.
Have we been cursed? Why did we suffer this fate? No. Is your gift why you got into the church? That's a valid question. Explore. Is this why people think you're creepy? Because you have the gift.
Rude.
Well, your sweet baggy boy, I think, is all yours, Pezzy. Let's say, is your gift why you got into the church?
It's hard to say. I was raised Baptist by two loving parents, and I was always interested in religion, but I've also always known about my talent, so I don't know which one came first.
Surprisingly honest.
If anything, though, I'd say I'm religious in spite of the gift. Hasn't exactly been easy to square this with a lot of the religious education I've had. For instance, a lot of religious leaders will tell you that only humans have souls. Well, you and I both know that's not true, though I suppose that gets into a whole different conversation about what exactly a soul is. But those are conversations I'm very glad to leave to the scholars. I'm just a simple small-town pastor. don't need to ask the big questions anymore. I just have to help people through their daily lives.
Interesting.
I'm actually getting to
I'm
quite
kind of
like him.
warming to him. Yes, exactly. Let's pick the Explorer option. Are we sure we're actually talking to animals? Let's see what his experience is of this.
Now that I know there are at least 2 of us, I have no doubt. There have definitely been times in my life, though, when I thought I might just be insane.
You're right. It is the definition of pastoral care.
Yeah. But it's so consistent, and I've never exhibited any other signs of insanity.
Okay, good.
In my most doubting moments, I have considered the possibility that other entities may be using the animals to confuse my faith. But besides a particularly vicious hamster I had growing up, the most an animal has ever tried to convince me to do is give them more food.
Yeah.
So I somehow doubt their puppets are some otherworldly evil, unless that otherworldly evil wants me to overfeed my pets.
Hamsters are vicious.
Hamsters will fuck you up.
For sure. Let's save that one. I don't want to say is this why people
No,
think
me
you're
neither.
creepy.
It seems cruel.
And I don't think we've been cursed.
No. Maybe the relief one. I can't express how much of a relief it is to finally meet someone else like me.
Like me. I hope you don't think the two of us
That's
sharing
straight up
gift
dickitude.
means we're friends. I hope you know that this means the two of us are bonded for life, best friends. Nobody else understands.
That's
what
also
it's like to be
dickitude.
there. No, if it's not ironic. I like the does Janie know? I do not like the great the one
No.
person I've met who shares my talents as a religious weirdo. I'm gonna say the I can't express how much of a relief it is to finally meet someone else like me.
Likewise, though it may be more than just the 2 of us now. I have my suspicions that Tulip might have inherited the gift. There have been some particularly nasty rats in the church lately, and she said some things that led me to believe she might be able to understand them.
Who's Tulip?
I'm guessing his daughter. He's interrupted by the sounds of a snapping twig and a high-pitched giggle, partly muffled by the underbrush on the edge of the property.
This child is adorable, and I'm checking everywhere for dangers in the bushes around them. They named their daughter Tulip. Okay. I'm so curious to play through as a complete ass. Yeah, exactly.
Just play the entire game like Billy Idol, you know. Tulip, come out of there. You know you're not supposed to play in the woods. Tulip glances back into the woods, quiet as she hesitates. Tulip, are you going to be good? Or are we going to skip story time tonight?
I'll be good. You don't have to skip story time. I won't go into the woods. I promise.
I know you won't, Tulip, because you know it's too dangerous for little girls in there. Why don't you go help Mama with the alpacas? It's just about time they got fed. You can give them hay.
Oh, she's so cute.
Tulip smiles broadly, seemingly excited by the prospect, and hurries off. Sorry, I had to have a firm parenting moment just then. She's been trying to run off into these woods a lot lately, and it's really dangerous, even for adults.
Oh dear. Oh.
Oh, Pastor
darling,
Daniel.
No, please. Please, no. Look towards the alpaca. She's even cuter from afar. Oh, look at her tiny little self. Adorable.
There's this massive trash dump not too far past the trees, but it must be at least 50 years old, so it's all grown over and it looks like it's part of the landscape.
Let's go poke it.
But if you accidentally walk on it, you might find yourself falling into a hip-deep mound of rusty cans and broken glass.
Explore options. Oh,
Tetanus
Tetanus
Lake.
Lake. Stella told me about it. Yeah, that's an explore option. Oh, Tetanus Lake. Stella told me about it.
Tetanus Lake! That's an accurate name. I wonder if Tulip would stay away if I started calling it that. Or if it would only make it sound more alluring.
I'm thinking powerful build and mystic is going to be my next playthrough for sure. How big of a trash dump are we talking? Would a weekend of hard work clear it out?
Maybe if you had construction equipment and a team of professionals. It's a big area, and I have no idea how deep it goes.
Oh dear.
In the meantime, I'm just making sure Tulip knows not to go near it.
What were you saying about the church having rats?
Ah, yes. The rats. So, you and I are used to the sort of chatter we hear from wildlife. It's usually nothing that needs to be paid attention to. But these rats, something so sinister about them. And they must be huge, judging by the sound of them scurrying around in there. Tulip had never shown evidence of the ability before. She's never responded to the alpacas or engaged in conversations with birds. In retrospect, she could have been hiding it. The way I did, growing up.
Or what she's hearing are not animals that are still talking to her.
Because I know she's been talking to the rats. She calls them her friends. I've been drawing all these pictures of them. Really ghastly things.
Oh no.
I've tried to bring it up with her, but she just gets this little smile. Doesn't say a word, like it's her fun little secret.
Great. Oh, is she talking to ditchlings? Is she talking to Wayne? Leave the oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear.
It's all innocent enough in the grand scheme of things, but I'm pretty sure they also live out there in that trash heap, and since she started talking about her friends, she's been trying to sneak out there.
No.
Concerned she's going to get hurt or catch some kind of disease.
Well. Okay. So we have a number of explore options.
This is really creepy, dude.
We're gonna start with, have you actually seen them?
No, but I don't need to. I lived in a dorm that had rats once. You never see them, but the church has all the signs of an infestation, and there's no mistaking the sound of little creatures stampeding through the walls.
Huh.
I've left out some humane rat traps, but they're too smart for them. All it's done is waste peanut butter. And I caught a possum in one, poor thing. Possums are never very bright, but at least he got a nice big scoop of peanut butter out of the ordeal.
Did you harm Dustin? How dare you?
Trouble comes for Dustin!
Has Janie heard them?
She's not in the church very often. She's usually in town doing her jobs until late, and we spend our evenings in the house. It's just me and Tulip all day long.
This is how horrible.
Oh, sir. Janie knows Tulip has made some strange little friends and thinks it's an imagination game. I was hoping I'd sort out the rat issue before she could get suspicious, but they are persistent, so I may have to hire an exterminator if I can get the money for one. I hope it doesn't have to come to that.
So, what have they been actually saying?
They like to try to goad me into crying or becoming depressed.
Ooh.
They watch me through unseen holes and they make fun of me. And they try to figure out how to press my buttons.
Oh, there's a lot there.
It's annoying, but it's easy enough to block out, especially when I'm praying.
Yeah, I don't think those are rats.
I don't think they're a good influence on Tulip, though. She's gotten quiet and secretive ever since she started talking to them.
Oh, no.
I'd hate to think what they say to her when I'm not around to hear.
Are you sure they're rats?
I think so. The pastor shifts uncomfortably for a moment. I hope so.
Okay.
You,
Okay,
you, sir, are aware you are in danger.
Yes, okay. Okay. Oh.
Oh, we're gonna have to go talk to the assholes.
Is there anything I can do to help? She acts very I'm saving the game really quick. Hold on. Is there anything I can do to help? Maybe I could try talking to them, even though I really don't want to.
That would be lovely. I'd certainly appreciate a helping hand here.
Oh, I think there's no saving this game anymore. Oh, gosh. Just a reminder, folks. Real serious content warnings here. I'll throw them up again in the chat. But, you know, if we're going to go talk to whatever the heck is trying to make the pastor depressed and push his buttons, it may not be pleasant, okay? I think the church has something worse than rats. I'm with you. It may also be why Wayne's hanging around. Either he wants to talk to us or he's trying to point our attention towards something that's gone wrong here.
I don't want to be too much of a bother, and you should probably finish looking for your missing friend first, but I'll be around.
Chapter 5! Okay. Chapter 5 maybe.
Or later today.
Fix the church. Okay. Maybe he's smiling because something is watching him and he can't reveal anything. Yeah, I don't see anything other than Wayne, like, in the church windows anywhere, but we're not at a great angle to see anything, so...
Out of the corner of your eye, you see Kanika and Avery walking back to the two of you. They must have finished talking to Janie.
Janie says she hasn't seen Stella either, so we'd better get going.
Thanks for suggesting we head up here, Petra. We got to feed the alpacas. They were so cute and soft. It was awesome. And Janie says she'll come by the diner with cookies for the miners, and a few extras for me, of course.
Oh, nice. She's so nice, she even offered to bring me some, since I'm feeling under the weather. Hope your talk with the pastor went well?
Yes, we had a great conversation. I appreciate you all stopping by, even if it wasn't under the best circumstances. I'll let you all be on your way. I hope Stella turns up soon. I'll put in some prayers with the big man for her.
Alright, thanks. See ya. No, I didn't get to talk to the alpacas. That's not fair.
Kanika and Avery start down the path to town, and you follow.
I was robbed of alpaca conversation.
You were going to do the alpacas as Valley Girls. I could tell.
I don't know. I would have come up with a voice. We're at a place where Twitch would like us all to take a little break for commercial purposes. So let's get back to town real quick. We've got a couple minutes and see if we find a good, pause. The smallest church in Scarlet Hollow is the achievement we've just unlocked.
So, what was that about? He seemed pretty insistent on talking to you alone.
Yeah, he didn't say anything weird, did he? So, options are nosy, aren't you? Let the man have his privacy. He can I don't want to give his secret away.
I actually like Tulips apparently made some weird imaginary
Yeah,
friends.
I like the option. Tulips apparently made some weird imaginary friends. We might want to check it out later this week. I think that's a very good option. In my playthrough, Daniel said alpacas. Oh, okay. Tulips apparently made some weird imaginary friends. We might want to check it out later this week. Kids make up imaginary friends all the time. Pastor Daniel says that there's a rat infestation in the church and that the rats are her friends. I don't know. It seemed weird.
Should have known we'd have to deal with a spooky kid at some point.
Right, Avery? Okay, as much as I'd hate going back there, I guess it's a loose lead. We didn't have anything else to investigate once we found Stella, and
Kanika pauses.
once we've checked out the clinic, then maybe we can look around the church.
Sounds like a plan.
Let's not get too distracted until we find Stella, though. Where next?
Before you can suggest your next move, you start to feel woozy. Spots form at the edges of your vision. Your legs suddenly feel unstable, your body sending you clear signals of exhaustion.
Oh, wow. Oh, no.
And then it passes. Still, probably won't be long before your body needs a chance to rest. You should plan your next move wisely. That feels like it's gently pushing us towards tea with Mom.
It is, but I'm not going to do tea with Mom. I'm going to go to the diner. I think food might really help, or at least like a chance to sit down and have a cup. We'll save the cup of tea for that. That sounds like a you get one more explore warning. Yeah, Stitch, I'm totally with you. I am not going to the mines, and I'm not going to the cops, so we'll check out the diner for sure. That you're having a symptom but not immediate consequences. It's a warning signal. Yeah, I like that a lot too. Exactly. All right, folks, we're going to take a quick little break because my stomach's growling, actually. I need a cracker or something. Again, if you are subject to ads, by all means, take 3 minutes and come back. If you are not subject to ads, do take a moment or two, make sure your drink's filled up and all that good stuff. And we will be back in a moment as I remember how to push the buttons. And I'm back. But it's just me, because Alistair is still making me a snack. So, I was looking at the chat while we were away on the ad break, and yeah, I think you're right, Ozzy. I think this is so one of the consequences of the sacrifice play is you get a limited number of explore options, which is calculated to like specifically annoy me single-handedly, I think, because I love explore options and now I get less of them and I am sad. You get wishes of nice game from the sponsor Scrooge McDuck. Yes, thank you. And there's a whole little plate of snacks now. Hey, snacks. Look, Alistair made me a little picnic. I have apple and a couple slices of cheese, and he got himself some pop chips and some crackers. So, pardon me if I eat while we play. Goblin would like to make a small little hint. This appears to be a sharp cheddar. Go ahead, Goblin, that's fine. My inclination is to go to the diner, because that's where all the workers are organizing right now for the mine strike.
Specifically, cathedral cheddar.
Cathedral cheddar. Okay, fine. Cool. We went to a church earlier. There may be someone else at the cops. The other person I could think of being at the cops would be Bo. Oh, who would know about the goat? But if I talk to Bo about the goat, then I'm not gonna get to talk to the miners about the strike because of my feeble flesh. This is not fair.
They're in the same place.
Huh?
They're in the same place.
No, they're not.
You're right, they're not.
Wednesday ale and cranberry left over from our LARP event. That sounds fantastic. Though I am very conflicted now. The mines are right out. I'm not going to the mines. But I need to know about the goat. It's very important. Otherwise, I cannot free Dustin at Dustin's mom's home.
You should go see the cops.
All right. This is obviously a place where I have to make another save, right? Okay. Let's make another save. There we go. I've got another save. So that if I regret my decision... Okay. Let's go talk to the cops, I guess. We should go talk to the cops, right?
Are you sure? Nothing against the fine officers of Scarlet Hollow, but you've met them, right? You think it's worth the trouble?
As unhelpful as they are, we are dealing with a missing person. That's technically cop stuff. It's probably going to be more of a formality than anything, but there's no point in not covering all of our bases, other than the frailty of my skin, apparently. Yep, Bo, we were right, there's Bo.
The police station is exactly what you would expect from a town the size of Scarlet Hollow. It smells strongly of coffee and faintly of aged furniture and paper, and the general tidiness speaks of a department that doesn't get much done.
Let's see. We've got pictures on clipboards. Something bowling championship, I think. I want to give Bo such a hug. I know. He's such a sweetheart. All right, do you remember your cop voices?
No.
Okay.
This will be fun for everyone, especially me. The police station...
Oh, yeah, you already read the police station. Right.
But you're also not alone here. You enter to find a worried Bo standing between you and the officers behind the desk.
All right, let's see what Bo has to say.
Let me get this right. You are trying to report a missing pumpkin.
I'm totally going to help Bo find his pumpkin.
Big Betty wasn't just a pumpkin, Sheriff Hugby, sir. She was going to be a prize winner. Raising her was the last thing me and my daddy did together. She's important to me.
Bo, you're every thought. You are so sweet. You make me cry. I need to do a playthrough where I'm strong enough.
Are you sure it was Julius and not some enterprising bearer that got a hold of it? You all know Julius thinks that land belongs to him. Probably thought Big Betty was his to take. He ain't coming to his door, so for all I know, he might be all the way to the state fair by now, with our pumpkin. Ain't there something y'all can do about it? I'm afraid we need at least some kind of evidence to go on before we go barging into a man's home, son.
I can get you evidence by barging into the back of a man's house. How about that?
Why don't you see if you can find something a little more solid for us to go on? Then we can see about helping you out.
No, I will help you!
Dean!
Hi, Dean.
Oh there! What happened to you? It ain't polite to comment on appearances like that. Ghost turned me old.
Ghost turned me old.
I'm back. Library was haunted. What? Library was haunted.
I freed the library from a wrathful spirit at great cost to myself. Huh. Well, at least the police are observant. Yeah.
I really like Ghost turned me old.
I kind of like Ghost turned me old, muttered under my breath, and we'll see if they hear it. Ghost turned me old.
Hugby and Derrickson stare at you for a moment before breaking out in laughter.
Fine.
If you say so.
It's true. I was there. A ghost stored years of Petra's life. I can't believe I just said that.
And we got possessed. It was a wild night. Silence, again, as everyone in the room processes this new information.
I like this music in particular.
Looks like what happens when my wife takes makeup off. Hugby laughs, slapping his knee, announcing to the room that he has told a great joke.
Bo, did you manage to find your dad? But are you folks part of... Okay, there's a lot of explore option here. Stella ran off last night and she's still missing. Bo, did you manage to find your dad? What's all this about a pumpkin? Weird question, but are your folks part of a cult and is that why you weren't doing your jobs? And then there are actual decisions to be made. I think let's start with Bo, did you find your dad?
Yeah, some of the fuck you answers here have very strong kind of, would you like to know which ones of your friends were cowards? Energy to them.
Yes, exactly. Bo, did you manage to find your dad?
Bo's stoic expression breaks, and for a moment you can almost see tears forming in his eyes. But he blinks them away.
Oh, this poor baby.
No, I ain't found him. I had to stop looking so I could stay home and guard the farm. There are more of these things every minute, seems like.
Yes, Dean, this is the same studio, Black Tabby Games, that created Slay the Princess. Let me get you a link to the games and the studio. And you need to buy this game because it's wonderful.
Do you think they'll go back where they came from soon?
I'm personally doing everything I can to send them packing is my inclination for a response.
Yes.
I'm sure they'll leave soon, Buddy is patronizing. Oh, wow. I kind of like him. Halloween's just in a few days and they've really helped set the mood. No.
To the man whose father they killed.
I'm going to say, I'm personally doing everything I can.
Kanika liked that.
Oh, yeah, look at the smile.
I will do my part to help. Kick in as many of those nasty little faces as I can. I don't know how many I can send scampering off.
Yes, can we also please pay attention to the fact that apparently Halloween is in a few days?
Almost like in time for episode 7.
Almost in time for the funeral of the relative that we are here for, which is taking place in a couple of days. Does this game conclude on Halloween? Yes, because a funeral and a ritual on Halloween is the same. Oh my lordy, this is going to be messy. Okay. Wow.
Seems like there's no end to these critters.
Sorry, I took a bite of my apple.
I think maybe pumpkin next.
Yeah, What's all this about a pumpkin?
Seems Bo here has misplaced a considerably large pumpkin. You all heard a word I said. I did not misplace Big Betty. She was stolen. And I know who done it, so I'd appreciate it if you all would give Mr. Tremaine a visit and set things straight. And I'm telling you, we can't barge into your neighbor's house just 'cause you want us to.
Let's see.
You want me to go over there and kick his ass for you?
Well, Wow, there's a lot that's going. Explore options.
Explore
Always
options.
explore
Always
options.
explore options.
What makes you think Mr. Tremaine is responsible? You're poking a wasp's nest, Petra. There's 100 years of history here.
He's been claiming Big Betty was his since day one, on account of he thinks it was planted on his side of the property. The Callaways and Tremaines have been at this for a long time. They can never agree on whose land is whose. This ain't the first time we've heard something like this, and we get a fair share of calls from Julius Tremaine too. You know, Julius is a friend of mine. He's a lot of things, and he is quite definitely a bit of a curmudgeon, but I have never pegged him as a thief.
I think it is West Virginia. It's West Virginia. Or Tennessee, I'm not sure.
I didn't know Julius ever talked to anybody. Talk is a strong word, but I like to think we have some kind of understanding.
Avery, you're invaluable. Can I ask, why is this pumpkin so valuable?
Me and my daddy put a lot of work into that pumpkin. She was near 2,000 pounds.
Woo!
Guaranteed blue ribbon. Naturally, our first question is how an old man like Julius Tremaine manages to move a pumpkin that size. Makes the whole story just a little difficult to believe. I do not know how Julius managed it. I know it must have been him.
There are contests where they carve those pumpkins those size into boats and have races in them.
He ain't even coming to his door to answer for what he done.
And that's what I'm worried about.
At the very least, he could give me seeds from what's left of her. Raising her was the last thing Daddy and me did together. That's interesting, because I haven't seen Julius since Tuesday, and he is usually in the diner every day. Not necessarily a big deal for a lot of people, but he never misses his morning joe.
Uh-oh.
So maybe he isn't a thief. Could be something happened to him. If he ain't the thief, then who stole our pumpkin? Beats me. I just don't think folks should be so quick to jump to conclusions.
How do you even move a 2,000-pound pumpkin?
I don't know how he did it. He did it. You, sure it wasn't a bear?
Bear wouldn't roll the thing away. It would just smash it right there.
Well, no bear. We're hunting folk. We know the signs. This was a man's work. That means it was Mr. Tremaine. He knew just what to do to hurt our family.
Oh. Alright, so, relatives. You want me to go over there and kick his ass for you? If you're related to Julius, why can't you just put your differences aside and get along? Someone's got to be the bigger man.
I severely doubt anyone is bigger than Bo in this situation.
I don't think Bo's asking you to throw Julius in jail or anything. Why can't you look into this? I like this whole I'm sorry for everything that's happened. But I kind of also like shaming the police into, like, you can't drive around and knock on his door? Come on. I don't think Bo's asking you to throw Julius in jail or anything. Why can't you look into this?
Petra is right. I ain't asking for much. Though, if I went down that road, I'm sure Julius would come down here tomorrow and have a whole list of his own complaints, and all of them would sound just as justified as yours. Sometimes it's just best to let things work themselves out.
Is Julius the mayor's owner? Good question. But it sounds like Bo has a real case here. It's not just two neighbors having an emotional dispute. There's been stolen property. Couldn't you get involved on his behalf just this once after everything he's been through this week? Kanika, knife with the guilt. Well to do. Well done.
You say that like this is the first time one of these feuding farm folk have come in about missing vegetables. We have heard it all.
What else are you busy doing?
And what we've learned is it's best to keep our noses out of it. I'm sure Bo here will be unsatisfied with whatever the legal system feels is just punishment for stealing Big Betty. Doesn't matter what happens, if we do anything, Julius will be storming in here the next day with a complaint of his own. Heck, he'll probably come down here regardless. Yep, and it'll be about a missing butternut squash or what have you, and he sure made it into a soup on the Callaway side of the property line. You know, even
Thank
if
you,
Julius
Rory.
didn't take Big Betty, it might be worth doing a welfare check. Alright, let me speak in plainer terms. Everyone knows that Julius Germain's land is booby-trapped to hell. It is not worth it.
Well, that was useful for us.
And it took us 10 minutes of digging to get to that, did it, Mr. Mix's Piddletick? Thank you. It's never stopped me. Yeah? Do you have kids, Avery? Because I've got 2 teenage girls at home. Hugby's got grandkids. Franklin's got... the mayor? I guess. I'm not about to risk getting my head blown off over a pumpkin.
For the love of...
That's right. There's some sleeping dogs you learn to just let lie.
Great policing. Wow. Wow.
I've been Scarlet Hollow's sheriff for over 20 years now. You do not hold a position like that for so long without learning a few lessons on temperance and moderation. If I may, sirs, ain't that a mad bit cowardly of you? I thought police officers were supposed to be brave.
Do it, Bo!
Fuck him up, big lad! Not the ones that live very long, son. Look, I've been to Julius's 100 times. I can tag along. I can make sure nobody gets hurt. That's a mighty kind offer, but let's give it another day. There's no need to escalate things when they might just resolve themselves.
Bo, you want to go sneak in? Let's go sneak in.
Let's do Stella's question and then let's do the... By the way, you all suck, right? You know how much you suck? Because you suck.
For 20 years? So about as long as Tabitha and Petra have been alive? Oh, interesting. So he's been sheriff as... He would have been sheriff or become sheriff around the time... Stella ran off last night and she's still missing. She isn't home and none of us have heard from her.
She what now? Oh, that's just our Stella. Always running off. I wouldn't worry too much about it. She'll turn up.
This is different, Earl. You know I wouldn't be up here bothering you if it wasn't important.
Yeah, for one thing, someone threatened her last night. He's been following Petra around ever since she got into town, too. And there are a lot of them things out there. Too many of them.
I'm gonna try Bo's right. Bo's right. She really shouldn't be off on her own when there are so many ditchlings keeping around in broad daylight and she hasn't contacted anybody.
Ditchlings? Petra told me about him yesterday. They're them creepy little things that got my daddy. I called about him last night, too, since they've been coming up out of the woods into the farm. Even saw some on my way here. Plain as day. Oh, we've been getting a lot of calls about those. Guess Scarlet Hollow has either been invaded by ghouls or else suffering some kind of mass hallucination. I may have even seen one or two myself. All the same, I don't see what we're supposed to do about them, or about Stella.
The last sheriff could have died.
Did you get the fucking badge in a cereal box there?
Right?
She's a grown woman. She wants to go off to the woods for a bit. We don't need to go after her like she's missed curfew. It's a free country. If there are critters bothering folks and stealing livestock, ain't you supposed to take care of them? Now, son. We ain't animal control. We're the police.
Are you kidding me? This town doesn't even have animal control.
Well, maybe it should get one. Weird question, but kiss our asses.
I'm okay, this is a weird question, but are you folks part of a cult? And is that why you're not doing your jobs? Or what's going on here?
The police officers stare at you, perplexed.
Look at Avery's face!
He's like, oh, no, she didn't. A cult? I don't think we have that sort of thing up here. We are doing our jobs. Just look at Franklin back there. He's filling all kinds of paperwork pertaining to what happened up at the manse. You know, I can't say I appreciate your tone. Sounds like you're accusing us of some kind of indecency. What, do you think we go up into the hills and do seances and rituals and all that sort of thing? Get your head out of the clouds.
I absolutely positively guarantee you that at some point in this game you will find them up in the woods doing seances and rituals. Positively, 99%. Yep.
We didn't kill him. Who? What?
Right? Let's just get going. Well, no one can say we didn't try. Let's keep looking.
Have a good one, officers. Same to you, kid.
Why won't they we just unlocked an achievement called Why Won't They Just Do Their Jobs?
Do you really think Hugby and Dickerson could be part of some cult that secretly runs Scarlet Hollow? That'd be wild. I'd never suspect them of that sort of thing. Seems like it'd be too much work.
As someone who's lived in this town my entire life, there's no way. For one thing, cult activity like what you're describing just doesn't happen. I've done my fair share of reading on satanic panics and so-called occult groups, and it's always all totally made up. People constantly freak out about Satanists without realizing they're just a bunch of debate club nerds who listen to heavy metal.
Rude. So, instead of not being able to rely on the cops because they're part of the cult that secretly runs the town, we can't rely on them because they're just not that good at what they do?
Yeah.
That's so much less exciting. But either way, I guess it's up to us to solve the mysteries of Scarlet Hollow.
We'll do a much better job anyway.
Where to next? As you consider your next move, your vision blurs again, but this time it persists. The weakness in your knees returns, your ears fill with static, and you feel yourself swaying, unable to control your body. It seems the toll of the pact you made last night is finally catching up with you. Whoa, you don't look too good. Your body crumples to the ground.
Oh dear. We're gonna wake up at the place where we're having tea, aren't we?
God, I hope we don't go back to the house. I hate the house.
We have a few more minutes. Oh shit! The general store is just around the corner. Let's get you inside. As I said, we're about to wake up where we're going to have tea. I'm going to save here just in case. Let's at least get loaded in, and then we'll stop here for the night. No more explore options for us.
The bells of the general store jingle welcomingly as your companions drag you across the threshold. You can faintly make out the unintelligible mumbling of what must be voices, and then you fade out again. You come to in a chair in the tea room. Sybil sits across from you, a gentle smile of relief washing over her face as you regain consciousness.
And since I am perfectly psychic, we will call it there. That is an excellent place for us to start next week, i.e. with the plot. She looks pleasant. I'm going to find out she's actually not.
Sybil may not suck.
I'm not sure kind of what Sybil's deal is, but she's the reason we were able to actually deal with the ghost under the library. And the fact that she wanted us to come talk to her about tea, the fact that she gives Tabitha tea, I think she knows. I think she knows a lot about what's going on, and I'm really hoping we're about to learn more from Sybil about what's going on.
I'm also curious as to why it seems like 3 of the 4 women in a particular generation in this town are all different kinds of ill. Tabitha has her medicinal tea. Kanika is feeling under the weather.
Has something. Reese is being medicated.
We have this. Why doesn't Stella?
Or Stella has something else that we don't know about.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a look at that cabinet, right? It's all tea cabinets. Okay, let's there we go.
We're about to get our tarot read.
Those are tarot. That we got lots of dried herbs going on. Tea mugs, tea paraphernalia.
That is also a really
cabinet,
lovely piece of art in a game that is made of them.
I know.
That is how you draw a character who is older.
Yeah, it's really, really nice. Avery gives you unusual tea if you visit them in chapter 2 as well. Yeah, there's some sort of like we all have something going on and we drink tea about it. I don't know. Yeah, the light and this over the steam is really good.
Damn, Abby.
She's actually just Alistair with a wig. I mean, she kind of maybe could. The glasses are a similar shape. I don't think you'd look that good with long hair, though. I gotta say.
No, I wouldn't. I could rock the cape, though.
Yeah, the little shoulder shawl thing she's got going on is quite nice. It's a very kind expression.
By the way, Dean, thank you. Your very kind words about my extremely geographically variable southern accents helped me through that quite demanding section.
What is that thing on the wall to the right of the cabinet? It says, "Tea is life." of said long silver wig. Hey, welcome back, everybody. All right, let's do. I'm sure you can convince Naomi to make it a stretch goal if T-Sock does more crowdfunding. Oh, okay.
Convince Naomi of it.
Just don't do anything with Parma Violets, okay? Please.
Why would we? Then we'd have less Parma Violets for ourselves. I got you, Dean. It's all good.
That's no. Naomi's a scamp. Don't give her ideas. No, Naomi is fueled by devilish ideas. Please, Parma Violence.
Tag team name.
That needs to be the sticker for the next
Parma Violence.
Parma Violence. Yes, absolutely. Okay, let's do a little bit of fun nonsense, and then we will call it a night. All right, everybody, hang on. Let me find my list of nonsense for the evening. Can you still read these okay?
Yes.
Okay, and a little bit closer to the microphone. You're good?
I'm good.
Okay, I am solidly in the anti-Parma Violets camp, so am I. But I'm in disguise. Shh. They are an experience. They taste like purple chalk. Oh, yes, they do.
You ever had Parma Violet caramels?
Ew.
It's pink. Tastes
Dean,
like flowers.
you have the gin.
And
you
old.
have the Parma Violet gin. You've got the best deal out of any of that flavor at all.
Also, holy shit, Dean, you look sharp as fuck at the moment.
Yes, the costuming
with the costuming and the hair and awesome.
They taste purple, but I'm not sure in a good way. Yes, very much so. Very much so. And you're talking to somebody who's considering having a purple suit made. So, okay.
Considering nothing, she's going for it.
I have an appointment on Monday to talk about it. I'm very excited. Anyway, all right. So this is entitled, this is a Tumblr post.
This is from the Land of Celebration and Bells.
But doesn't have any title on it. So I'm just going to start reading it and then we'll alternate paragraphs, okay?
Okay.
I hate it. I'll do this section, then you do that point, and then
I'll do the
that.
Team Fortress 2, then you do Crusader Kings, yeah.
I hate it when game devs put fixed several issues in patch notes. No. Tell me what you fixed. I want to know what the glitch was. You know those patch notes that are like, fixed an issue where if the player sat in a bush for too long, they'd become the size of a skyscraper. I want to read those. Tell me those.
Team Fortress 2 update released. An update to Team Fortress 2 has been released. The update will be applied automatically when you restart Team Fortress 2. The major changes include fixed a bug where players could be teleported to hell and not have visible... Is that visible bumper car?
Bumper car.
Not have visible bumper car.
Crusader Kings 2. All Byzantine emperors will now have clothes, regardless of what DLCs are enabled. Can no longer press the Create Hungary, with an spelled Hungary, button multiple times. No longer possible for AI to plot and assassinate
self.
AI to plot to assassinate self, unless they are a lunatic. Celibate characters should no longer be worried about their conjugal love life. Made Buddhists' ambitions easier to fill. Impregnation of lovers is now handled in the code. The hordes will now be more prone to head in the right direction. Louis Devreux now has the correct mother. Tweaked death date of Mubashir, Duke of Majorca, and made him eunuch. Not a eunuch, just eunuch.
Just a eunuch.
So does he have one on the side or something? I don't know. Fixed an issue with some plots where plotters did not get what they plotted for.
Dwarf Fortress. Babies don't start strapped with a knife. Stopped vampires from pinning their crimes on babies and children. Stopped zombie cats from adopting dwarves.
Aww.
Stopped ghosts from maintaining secret identities. Stopped dwarves from trying to clean their own missing or internal body parts. Made strangulation take less time. Demons masquerading as gods will try a little harder. Adjusted value of bees.
Adjusted value of bees. Now that was a special one because every item in the game had a minimum value. And a beehive was a container for bees, which each had a minimum value, which meant the moment one of your dwarves picked up a beehive, your entire fortress's net worth skyrocketed. A value used in determining how powerful the foes that visit and try to murder you are. Yeah, go ahead.
Reblogging for the explanation of what adjusted value of bees actually means, because I know several folks following this blog have been wondering.
Okay, but you've all forgotten the best dwarf fortress bug of all. Flying creatures give birth in midair, leading to tragedy.
Actually, I lied. It's the one where after a major update, werewolves and vampires started climbing the nearest tree and refusing to come down. It turned out that he'd given evil creatures the ability to sense each other, but forgotten to set a maximum range on it. So werewolves were aware hell was underground and trying to flee by climbing.
Fixed an issue with the blobberer where some of the blobs would not be lobbed.
That has to be my favourite patch note ever.
Babies don't start strapped with a knife. Right? These sound like something that would go through my brain on a very bad day.
There is such strong GLaDOS energy to made strangulation take less time.
Right? Oh, we should totally read these in Stringo. Okay. Let's do these again. Dwarf Fortress voice. Do them in GLaDOS voice.
Babies don't start strapped with a knife.
Stopped vampires from pinning their crimes on babies and children.
Stopped zombie cats from adopting dwarves.
Stopped ghosts from maintaining secret identities.
Stopped dwarves from trying to clean their own missing or internal body parts.
Made strangulation take less time.
Demons masquerading as gods will try a little harder.
Adjusted value of bees.
Yes.
GLaDOS voice. I miss GLaDOS voice.
How have you been?
Because I'm a potato. Emma's. Oh God, is Ship reading all of these would be fantastic.
Yes.
What is going on in Dwarf Fortress? Emma is a very good AI.
Emma is so good.
Exactly. All right. Let's talk about what's coming up next week.
All kinds of stuff. This Friday, the first full-on issue of the Full Lid will go live. We have a look at Wednesday.
Which didn't get to go live next week, which was Friday the 13th. So I feel like a little tiny bad about that.
We had really good reasons for not.
Yes, because I was still working all night.
Yes.
Yes.
So there's a look at Wednesday and there's a look at Dark Side Detective, and we've got some really good interstitials and a great play out. Then on Sunday we will return
to Dark Side Detectives,
to try and
have to rescue Dooley's nephew.
Buzz, the little asshole,
has been taken by a thunderbird in a thing, and the case is called One Flew Under the Cuckoo's Nest.
One flew into the cuckoo's nest.
Cuckoo's nest. Yes, exactly. Dooley, your beloved husband. Yes, his nephew.
Yes, indeed.
His nephew was caught spray painting the
Botanical Gardens.
Botanical Gardens, yeah.
Because Twin Lakes is one of those cities that doesn't have something until it's always had it.
Exactly, precisely.
And then we'll be back here next Wednesday.
Well, we will be playing more Scarlet Hollow. I don't think we're going to have a guest lined up in time for the month of January. Which means, remind me next week, we should talk about
Guestage.
And Womble's TBR challenge.
Yes, because we're both doing a TBR pile challenge this year, and it is top fun. It's
really Dean, put me in, coach.
We should talk.
Hey, okay. Do you want to join us next week? And Ducky, can we make that happen, Dean? If you're around, I don't know what your performance schedule is like, but yes, I can make an email.
Yes, Ducky, please make an email.
Yes, please make an email. But if your performance schedule allows, Dean, by all means.
And if we can't fit you in next week, just let us know when you're free.
Yeah, exactly.
Doors always open.
We'll make it work. That sounds good. Isn't it Burns night next Wednesday?
Oh, it might be.
Let me check.
You know what that means?
No! It means you're going to have a horrible accident all day.
Okay, firstly, rude. and secondly, as opposed to every other day. Right? Hang on a second. I'm looking at the wrong calendar. It is, in fact, Burns night, everyone, next Wednesday. So, when you are putting together your tipples or beverages to join us on stream, give them a decided Scottish flair. So we have to have Dean on. Of course. We have to. Yes. Cranachan. I can make Cranachan. There's raspberries in the fridge, but they won't survive it, by all means. Okay, for folks who don't know, next week is Burns night. B-U-R-N-S, as in Robert Burns. As in a national... Is it technically a national holiday of Scotland? Yes, I believe so.
Yes. which for those of us who don't live in Scotland but live very near to Scotland is when all the fantastic Scottish food goes on sale. So we get to have tatties and neeps and haggis for dinner as well, which makes me very happy.
Oh, okay. I will of course do this and make
as in the poet Robert Burns. That is correct.
And if you wish to clip it, you can. Martin, can you make an email?
There we go.
And of course also, Martin, I want the young man from the island to come and talk to me.
Right. So, a traditional Burns night dinner
Happy birthday next Wednesday.
is tatties and neeps and haggis, which is delightful.
Which means two things which are good.
And booze. What do you mean, which is two things that are good?
Neeps.
I like neeps! I really do! They're tasty because they're kind of sweet.
Okay, I see that.
Which I think is really, really good. Yes, the filth poet. Yes, very much so. Yes. My creamy raspberry beloved. Yes, absolutely. It's a great excuse to pour a wee dram and have a good old natter. It'll be lovely. Yes, Dean, let's make the email go.
Yes.
All right. And I think that's everything.
I think it is. I am unfamiliar with Burns' songs, Doc.
Oh no. High school choir sang a Robert Burns poem. Oh, interesting.
Is this like how every Emily Dickinson poem can be sung to the tune of Yellow Rose of Texas?
Yeah, no, you're welcome. Go ahead.
I'm not going to do that.
Okay. We're just gonna let people have that stuck in their head. Look up.
Coming through
Why
the
would Dean? Why would you tell? Right.
Add to the Pokemon theme. Oh God, it can.
Hang on.
Yellow Rose of Texas.
Oh no! Why? Yeah, Dean. It's true. Try it. Try singing that. Burns did write Old Lone Sang, didn't he?
Pretty sure he did.
No, I don't know.
As a result, is responsible for at least one documented musical crime.
Precisely. Okay, and on that devastating bombshell, we leave you all to go sing Yellow Rose of Texas, the theme tune to... Who is it?
Pokemon.
No, the poet.
Robert Burns.
No, the female
Emily
poet.
Dickinson.
There you go. Go sing. Go read Emily Dickinson poems listening to the Yellow Rose of Texas and blame it on us.
I have most definitely been Alistair.
I have certainly been Marguerite.
And this has absolutely been fun. We'll see you next time.
Have a good night, everybody. Take it easy. Where's the button?